Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. Okay, so I want to start by saying some things. I am going to do a flip through of this High Desert Oracle because I don't think there is one. I could be wrong, but I remember when I looked I didn't find one before I decided to order this. It is $14 on Etsy, including shipping for me in the United States. So this is extremely affordable for me. First off, I have recorded and uploaded unlisted 2 videos in the last week to try to make some clarifications and explanations and context and apologies for if I were to record my last video that went up almost a week ago, if I were to record it again today, I would have said a lot of things differently. There are some things that I would not have said at all. But that was, if I hadn't put that video out there, I would not have been confronted with all of the insights and all of the conversations that I have had in the last week that led me to a more evolved position on some of those things. Overall, the thing that I was trying to say, a lot of people have been my translators in the comments, and I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. For those of you that saw what I was trying to say and explained it in more sophisticated language for me, I call you my translators in my head. And you guys were so helpful. You have no idea. Yeah, I appreciate that so very much. I will say I tend to be a person that has not learned the lesson of, I still have an issue with comparing myself to other people, as I'm sure you can tell. I feel like I didn't used to have this issue before I was on social media. I didn't have that issue. I was in my own little world, content with the resources that I had, and that was fine. Because to be clear, yes, I have a lower income, and my intention in sharing that with you guys in the last video was to kind of, because I don't see that. I don't see people talking about that, talking about struggling financially, and because I don't see that very often, it made me feel alone, but I knew I wasn't. So that's why I was sharing that. Because that is something that is helpful for me to see. And I think it did sort of end up looking like I was just whining. And, I do that sometimes. That is true. I do that sometimes, but I want to make sure that I also convey that I in no way think that I am not an abundant person. I know that my situation could be so much worse. And I am able to get myself most of the things that I want to have, and that is a privilege, and I am happy to have it. So, I don't want to get into more detail than that right now. I may end up making public one of the sort of clarification / explanation videos that I have filmed and uploaded. But for now, I don't want to go into it any more than that. So, thank you to everyone that was respectful in the comments. Thank you to everyone that has made a VR. Even when I pushed buttons and people vehemently disagreed with me, as long as they did so respectfully. I appreciate that, truly, because there are things I know now that I did not know a week ago. I have, you know, like I think most people, a very myopic viewpoint. You know, I can only see my own experience, and that's all I'm intending to share on this channel. I'm only intending to share my experience, even though sometimes it sounds like I'm telling others what to do. And my intent with talking about, like, feeling guilty for spending, like, a lot of money on a deck, what I would consider to be a lot of money on a deck, is not that I don't want to feel that. And I'm working on it. Like, I have been buying a lot of Oracle decks lately, and I have come a long way, because in the past, buying like a handful of Oracle decks, basically I've bought like 5 or 6 in the last month, and they've all been like $20 or so. It's been more than I probably should have spent for my budget. There are drawbacks to that, but for the most part, I'm not in a shame spiral right now, despite what my last video might have looked like. I had an emotional moment, and you guys saw it, and it had way more eyes on it than I thought it would, and that has been an experience. But for the most part, I'm doing so much better with that stuff, and I do want to share that journey with you guys, with anybody that wants to listen. I'm not drowning in guilt. I'm not, you know, I'm doing okay. I'm overwhelmed in many different aspects of my life, and I'm coping with it as best I can, and sometimes it goes well and sometimes it doesn't. I am an emotional creature. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And, yeah, again, I don't want to go more into it than that, because, I'm just not ready. So let's look at this High Desert Oracle deck. I just happened upon this when I was on Etsy one day, and I was kind of on the lookout. I don't really have, like, I have many animal decks, and I have a few plant elements in a few different decks, but I don't really have landscape, place, settings type Oracle decks. And so this one definitely immediately appealed to me. It's got like a couple of little extra cards, welcome and instructions. I'm not going to go like into that. It's just, you know, a little explanation of why she created the deck. What's her name? Melissa McCain. Why she created the deck. It appeals to me. Okay, here's the backs. Cardstock is very, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just good. It's just good. It's serviceable. It's kind of like semi-gloss, semi-matte. I don't know. It's just a very, like, neutral, like, the cardstock is just very serviceable, very shuffleable. And you know me, if you do, you know that I am very picky about cardstock. So this one is it's just good. It's just good. Nothing wrong with it. So this deck appeals to me because it is, I don't know if my camera is focusing so that you can see the words. I'm going to assume you can, because usually it looks better than it looks on my viewfinder, so I'm going to assume you can. What appeals to me about this deck is not only that it's like nature imagery, but that it has a keyword or key phrase at the top, and then it just has a little bit of explanation on the bottom. There's no guidebook because there doesn't need to be. Some of it's animals, some of it's landscapes. It is very animal for the most part as I'm flipping through. I've only had it a couple days. I have not used it in a reading yet, besides just pulling a little card for myself. It's really, it's just sweet, you know? It's sweet. It's kind of like, I like that it reminds me, it might be the font choice and also just sort of the style of the border and the fact that it has just the extra information right on the card sort of reminds me of the 90s. I think it's mostly the font. But also every card, it's not straight up photography. It has been, every card has sort of a filter on it that makes it look a little watercolory. And she explains in one of these little things that she added that effect to the images. Wow, isn't this beautiful though? I think that's beautiful. She added the effect to the images in order to make them look more consistent, because some of them are photos that she took herself. This is all based, High Desert is based in Colorado. I think she took most of these. I took the majority of the photos in this deck on hikes just outside of the small town I live in. The High Desert of Colorado is a beautiful place. So it's like, and some of the images are from New Mexico also. So Colorado and New Mexico desert. And I was specifically, like, desert landscape is something that I'm interested in seeing in Tarot and Oracle, and I would like to see more of it. I would like to have more of it. So this is a nice little deck, it seems. And of course this will be showing up in pick-a-pile readings for you guys whenever I am able to record one again. And I like it. It is sweet. Let's read just as an example. Love. Love is the answer to any question. It is the power behind miracles, the basis of any religion worth following. True unconditional love is the energy that binds everyone and everything together. Instead of acting out of obligation or fear, choose to act from love. Which, you know, pretty basic concept that can sometimes sound kind of cliche, you know, choose love over fear, but it's cliche for a reason. It's an important philosophy to live by, right? Just a very sweet, sweet little deck. So I'm glad that it exists, and I'm glad that I was able to get it, and I can't wait to use it for you guys. So that's all I got. Not a real review because I've had it like 48 hours, but it is, I don't know what to say about it other than this is sweet. This is a sweet little Oracle deck, and I am enjoying it so far. Okay.